University
Recording in
and
progress.
Sate Vadgaon Mawar in Pune Metropolitan Regional Development Authority. It is a 30-acre campus of academic facilities and amenities for students and teachers to help them to achieve their fullest potential. The Pimpri Chinchwad University campus is well connected with the cities Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad by road through Mumbai-Pune National Highway number 4 as well as Mumbai-Pune Expressway. Also, railway station Kanhe is at 1 kilometer distance. The nearest airport is Pune Airport. PCU has its different verticals which prepares leaders from different fields. School of Engineering and Technology. School of Design. School of Media Arts and Communication Studies by incorporating cultural activities, events and organized tours and trips, fostering a holistic development approach. In essence, Pimpri Chinchwad University is not just an institution. It is a vibrant ecosystem that nurtures talent, fosters creativity, and provides a platform for students to thrive in every aspect of their academic journey. PCU Bus Transport provides service across the city. Pimpri Chinchwad University, transformative education that empowers success in a rapidly evolving world. The Pimpri
Okay. So we are having Dr. Rachana Patil, ma'am, as a resource person for this session. So let's have a quick introduction of her. Dr. Rachana Patil is an associate professor in the Department of Computer Engineering at Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, Pune. Dr. Patil obtained her PhD from the University of Mumbai, India, in 2020, marking the beginning of the prolific academic journey. With over 70 papers published in the esteemed international journals and conferences, Dr. Patil has demonstrated a remarkable commitment to advancing knowledge in the realms of the cryptography, network security, cybersecurity, and digital forensics, with a special focus on the network forensics. Her dedication to excellence extends beyond publications. She is an active member of prestigious organizations like IEEE, ACM, and IET, where she could contribute her expertise to the global community of researchers and practitioners in the cybersecurity. So we are having such great personality amongst us for this wonderful session on the cyber security. So, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul sir, for the introduction. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please. Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So may I know who all are the attendees here? Like all of them are students or they are faculties also?
We are having faculty members as well as students, as well as few students will be like admitting to the BTech program. Means they have just passed out from 12.
Okay, so they are
Yeah.
just 12th pass out and you have few first year students also.
Yes, yes.
So majority of the attendees are students, right?
Yes, yes.
So I'll focus it from the students' perspective only, right?
Yes, sure, ma'am, sure.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So good morning, everyone. Sir has already introduced me. And today's topic is about cyber crimes and cyber security. So whenever we talk about cyber security, always there is a term associated with it, which is cyber crime. Okay, so let us begin with the today's session. And whenever you feel like you're not getting something or I'm going too fast, you can just tell me and I can repeat those things. Okay, so I want all of you to just read this line that sometimes when my internet is down, I completely forget the rest of my computer still works. So for how many of us this is true? You can raise your hands, you can unmute and speak. Okay, for how many of you this is true? Yes, for all, almost for all of us, it is true, including for me also, because we are so much of dependent on internet these days that if our mobile phone or if our laptop or computer do not have an internet connection for some time, like for half an hour, 1 hour, we feel that the system itself is not working. Right, so we are so much of dependent on internet for our day-to-day activities. Now, if you could look at the dependency of people on internet, we can. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are
Okay,
audible.
sorry, something went wrong from my end. So if you could look at the global digital snapshot, we can say that more than 50% of world population is now using digital devices these days. Now, what is happening because of that, as we are going on increasing the digital devices for our day-to-day activity, without completely knowing it, it is giving rise to the cybercrime cases. Now, global cyber victims are almost 1 million victims per day. And per hour, if you could see, there are more than 50,000 victims of cybercrime. So when you are using digital devices, the rate of cybercrime is also increasing. If you could look at the scenario in India from the Indian perspective, you could see from 2005 to up to 2020, I have the statistic with me, which I've taken from National Crime Records Bureau of India. So, according to that, also you can see the graph. The number of cybercrime cases reported, which is represented in the red line, is much more than the than the arrest made in these cases. Right now, why there is so much of difference between the cases reported and the criminals arrested? Is just because we are not aware about it. The evidences which we are collecting against these cybercrime cases are not getting accepted in the court of law just because the evidences are not in a proper format. They are not preserved. Their integrity is not preserved, right? So they are not accepted in the court of law, and so we are not able to arrest them. Now, what is happening on internet in just 1 second? If you could look at this slide, you will just imagine the volume of data created in just 1 second. In 1 second, more than 5 million YouTube videos are viewed by all of us. More than 138.8 million mails are sent. Okay, so this is so just imagine the volume of data which is generated in just 1 minute of time on internet. So, so we need cybersecurity to prevent all this. So let us first look into what exactly is the security. Okay, so security means safety, is to keep something secure. Like for example, you all are having mobile phone. We all set the passwords for our mobile. Why we need password? Because we need to keep it secure. We don't want anybody else to open our mobile and to see what is there, see our photographs, see our contact details, right? So security means safety. So it's all about protection from harm. So it can be in terms of digital world, we can say it's a security, and that can be achieved by using different ways. We can have biometric based security, we can have password based security, pattern based security, right? There are many other ways. So it is applicable to any vulnerable and valuable asset. Where you need security for your phone, you need security for your laptops, right? So these are all valuable assets. Rather, the data which these devices are holding is more valuable than the devices. Okay. So what are the different security goals? So when I'm saying security, what exactly it means? What are the different goals of security? When we can say that a particular system is secure or it is not secure. Okay. So basically you have to understand here these three things. So whenever you need to design any secure system, we say that it should achieve all these three security goals. So there are the three important goals. We also call it as CIA triangle. Okay, CIA means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So what is confidentiality? Confidentiality is all about keeping your data secure and confidential so that nobody else can read your data, or even if they get access to the data, they are not able to understand it. Right? In simple words, if I could give you the example, for example, if you're talking to your friend, you don't want any intermediaries to understand. So something has happened, I think. Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, ma'am. It's perfectly fine, and your audio is also good.
Just a minute, something has happened at my end. There is
I'm
a
seeing the red mark in this.
Yes, yes,
there is
red
a
mark is there.
big red circle. What
Yes,
happens?
yes.
It's not going. Just a minute. Let me share my screen again.
Yes, yes, sure, sure.
Now I think it's fine. No?
Yes, yes.
So, what is confidentiality we are talking about? For example, if you are sending a message to your friend and you don't want anybody else to read the message, right? If you're sending a message that meet me at 5 o'clock in the park, and you don't want anybody else to understand the message or to read the message. So, what you will do? You will not send it as it is, you will convert it into some coded form, like you will encode it or you will encrypt the message and then you will send it. So this way we can achieve confidentiality, right? You all have seen the WhatsApp advertisement. What the WhatsApp says, that we are end-to-end secure. We are using encryption techniques. So all our messages which we are sending through WhatsApp, they are encrypted at the sender end, at the receiver end, they are decrypted. So what do you mean by encryption is the data which you are giving as an input to the encryption algorithm, that algorithm converts it into some coded language, and it creates a ciphertext of that data which is unintelligible. Unintelligible means it is not understood by anybody. So that is unintelligible message, and then at the receiver end, the receiver will again convert the message into hello. So
Again,
something has happened again. I think you have given access to somebody else also.
No, no, no. Nobody's accessing that.
But my screen is again fine. No problem. So that is all about confidentiality, where all your messages are confidential. They're understood and read only by the sender and the receiver of the message. Okay. Now, next goal of security is integrity. Now, what is this integrity? Is integrity means the data should not be tampered. Tampered means changed or modified in the communication channel. For example, if you're sending a data and you're sending a message to your friend that meet me at 5 o'clock, and if some attacker gets the access to the data and he tried to change it. He may change the time, he may change the location, he may try to mislead to you or your friend, right? So that is all about integrity. Integrity means nobody should change the data or modify the data. Only the authorized sender and the receiver is able to update or modify the data. That is all about integrity. Then the third thing is about availability. Now, availability means what? The system must be available to the legitimate user whenever it is required. Now, when I'm saying legitimate user means what? The real user or the true users. We have two types of user here in terms of in cybersecurity. We have the legitimate user, that is the real user, and we have the attacker or the intruder. Okay. So there are two types of users. So availability means that the system must be available whenever it is required by the legitimate user. Now, to understand availability, I'll give you a simple example. For example, you all are using Gmail, your email accounts, right? Now, whenever you try to access your emails, you want to read your email or you want to send a mail to your friend. So what you do, you try to open your inbox and send a mail or you read the mail. The system, the Gmail server is available to you whenever you want to send or receive the email. Now, tomorrow, if you're trying to send a mail, if you're trying to log into your email account and continuously you're getting a message that the particular server is down, server is not available, error 404, you will be fed up with the services. If this is happening continuously for 8 days, 10 days, for a month, the server is not available whenever you're trying to access it, what you will do, you will no longer use the Gmail services. You will try to transfer your email account to something else, some other platform you will use, and you will no longer use the services, right? So that is all about
Ma'am,
availability.
again, there is an issue.
So something. Fine. Okay, so that is all about the availability, which says that the system must be available to legitimate user whenever it is required. So to achieve the security, to develop any application which requires security, you have to make sure that it achieves all three goals. Like it should achieve confidentiality, it should achieve integrity, and it should also achieve availability. So you have to make sure that all your messages or data is confidential, it is not modified by anybody else, and your server is available to the legitimate user whenever it is required. Okay. So whenever there is a security attack. So these things are the two sides of the same coin. So what is security attack? So in simple words, we can say attack is anything which can compromise the security of an individual person or a particular organization, right? So if your mobile password is compromised, it's a security attack on your mobile phone. Somebody has seen your password and trying to open the mobile phone. Okay, so that is a security attack for a particular individual. Then here you need to understand these three terminologies so that I can go further in my presentation. I'll be using the terms vulnerability, threat, and control. I'll not go with the definition. I'll just explain it with the help of a simple example. Now, see, this is the situation. There is a water tank and the water level is shown here. The water is filled up to that level. Then this is a wall of the water tank where there is a small crack and there is a person who is standing outside the water tank. Okay, so this is the situation. Now let me explain you the three terms. What is vulnerability, what is threat, and what is control. So vulnerability means what? Vulnerability means a weakness or a loophole which is present in the system. Now, what is the loophole present in the entire system? In this particular scenario, what is the loophole or the vulnerability which you can see? Can anybody answer? What is the loophole here which can compromise the system? The crack which is there in the wall is a loophole, or this is called as vulnerability. It means that whenever you will try to feel the water above the crack, the water will come out, right? So it is a vulnerability. So vulnerability means any loophole or a weakness which is present in the system is vulnerability. Now, what is threat? So threat is a set of circumstances that has potential to cause the harm. Now, which circumstances or which situation will cause the harm here? If you feel the water above the crack level, the water will come out, obviously. So that is the situation where the system will compromise or it can cause a harm or loss. So that is a threat. So feeling the water above the crack level is a threat. And what is a control? A protective measure to address the problem is a control. So a person who is standing outside the water tank, if he try to close the crack from outside or feel the crack, then in that case, it's a control measure which he has taken. So the system is now protected here, right? So that is called as control. Now, these three terminologies in terms of cybersecurity, what all things can be the vulnerability? If some port is open in your system, that is a vulnerability because through that open port, somebody can enter the system, can change the password, can install the malwares in your system. Okay, so vulnerability is open ports. Threat is a situation which is causing the harm is somebody knows that there is a vulnerability. A port is open in a particular server, so we can get access through that open port. That is a threat. And what is the control measure which we can do is, what is the control measure here? Is we can close the open port. That is a control measure. Okay. So these are the three things which you should understand: what is vulnerability, what is threat, and what is control. Now, here we have to understand about the two types of attacks in the security system. We have a passive attack and active attack. So what is passive attack? Passive attack means what? That you understood. Okay. So passive attack means what? The attack in which a person can only observe the message. The attacker can only see the message, but he cannot change the messages. He can only see it. But in case of active attack, a person can modify the message, right? So he can see the message, at the same time he can modify and forward the modified message to the receiver. That is called as a active attack. Now, the security attacks, as we have just seen, they are divided into passive attack and active attack. So what all attacks can be the passive attack? The attacks which are not harming the entire system, but there the attacker can only get access to the messages but not able to read or understand the messages. That is passive attack. And active attack is where he can actually modify the messages. So under passive attack, we have different types of attacks like release of message content, traffic analysis. A simple example which I can give you here is if you have seen the old movies, if you have seen that, then in case of passive attack, releasing of message content, a policeman always used to apply the wiretapping. So what happened in wiretapping? A police person can come and he can attach the wiretapping device to the landline telephonic connection. And through the device, he can just listen to the communication between the two parties. So that's a kind of passive attack where he or she can just listen to the communication but can't harm the system, right? In case of massive active attack, we have these different types of active attack. So the passive attack which we have seen are snooping or traffic analysis. They are threat to confidentiality. So snooping means listening to somebody's communication. It's called as snooping. Okay. And then the two types, these two things are related to the active attack. So these are the threats or the attacks which are threatening the goal, integrity of the system and threatens the availability of the system are the active attacks. So they are modifying somebody's content. Masquerading means pretending to be somebody else. It's spoofing, right? Nowadays, all of you must be using this spoofing. You all are using VPN. So what is all VPN is what? VPN is hiding your identity. You all are using VPNs to download something from torrent websites, right? So that is masquerading. You're pretending to be somebody else. You're pretending that you're not logging from India, but you're logging from some other country, right? So that is called as masquerading, and it's an active attack. Replaying means what? Replaying means if a message is sent and the attacker has got access to the message, and after some time, then the attacker will send the same message, which copy he has preserved. That is called as replaying attack. So replaying attack can be attempted in case of banks, like if you are doing a bank transaction. If you are sending a message to the bank that transfer 100 rupees from account A to account B, now attacker has got access to the message. Now, once the sender goes offline, the attacker will try to replay the same message, send the same message to the bank server so that the transaction will happen 2 times. But actually, it is not happening these days because now our security systems are much improved. Then repudiation means what? In repudiation, I'll explain you with a simple example. What is repudiation is? Repudiation means that if you are sending or receiving the messages, you are not, you should not deny later on that a message is sent or it is received, right? So in case of WhatsApp also, we have this provision. Whenever you're sending a message to somebody, you're getting a blue tick. The blue tick indicates that the message is read by the person at the other end, right? So he or she cannot deny later on that that he or she has not received the message. The next is a denial of service attack. So denial of service attack is a threat to availability of the system. So denial of service means what? Somebody is trying to access the server or the website, but he's continuously getting an error message. Then that is called as denial of service attack. The server is not available. So in that case, a person continuously getting an error message just because the attacker is overloading a system by sending multiple fake messages, right? So these are the different types of attacks which can threaten the respective security goals of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, now let's look into what is cybercrime and what are the different types of cybercrime. So cyber crimes are the one which are committed by using computers and internet to steal the data or the information. Okay, so a crime which is done by using any digital device and by using internet is called as a cyber crime. Now, this is just a data breach statistic that how much data is breached every year. So if you could look at the industries which data is compromised or breaches, where you can see here healthcare industry is at the top of data breach. If you're reading the news, you must be aware about that the India has got its own data protection bill in last month only. So now in India also, if somebody is trying to get your data and compromise the data or share your data with somebody else, they have to pay a large fine for that. Okay, so personal privacy is now given an importance, and then nobody can share the data without your consent. Now, cybersecurity and cybercrime, which we have seen, as I said, they are the two sides of the same coin. I said that if you try to increase the cybersecurity, obviously the cyber crimes will be reduced. Now, who and what is at the risk of cybercrime? So our economy is at the risk, the defense is at the risk, transportation, our medical industry, government organizations, telecommunication industry, energy sectors, and all our critical infrastructures are at the risk of cybercrime. Now, students, you have to understand these things, three things here, that is functionality, usability, and security triangle. So what this triangle says, in future, whenever you're developing any application, Okay, while developing any application, you need the functionality, that you need lot of feature in the application. You need the usability, that you want to provide a very good GUI to your customers, and at the same time you need security, right? So you should have a proper balance between functionality, usability, and security. So the wall should be at the center of the triangle, then only you are able to balance the things. For example, if you try to increase the security, what you will do, you will ask your customers to enter the password, you'll ask them to enter the OTP, you may ask them to remember some image also, right? So that is what, when you're trying to increase the security, you're moving away from functionality and usability, right? Now, what is the methodology of the attack? Whenever the attacker tries to attack some system, what is the method of attack? So there are five general phases which are involved in attack are footprinting, which is also called as reconnaissance. We have scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, and covering the tracks. So let me explain you these phases. Like, for example, if you want to attack a particular system or a particular organization, what methodology these attackers follow? So first they try with footprinting or reconnaissance. So in the layman words, if you try to understand here, if you want to attack some particular organization, first you have to understand what are the working hours of the organization, at what time the people enter, at what time they go, and then you will slowly you will start visiting the organization. You will just try to observe everything. So this is called as reconnaissance. So collecting the information about the target is called as reconnaissance in simple words. Okay. Now, in case of cyber crimes, what is reconnaissance? So here the attacker will try to understand that which operating system the target machine is using. Is there any open port? Is there any vulnerability present? What are the different web servers it is using? Okay. So collecting the information about your target is called as reconnaissance or footprinting phase. Then the second phase is a scanning phase. What happened in the scanning phase? The attacker will try to scan the system and check for the vulnerability. Now, once you get some vulnerability, you are ready to enter the system, and the third phase of the attack starts, which is called as gaining access. So by using the vulnerability which we have received in the previous phase, you will start exploiting the system, and you will exploit the vulnerability and gain access to the system. So now you have entered the system after this phase, and then you may try to insert the malware, you may try to install the Trojan horse and try to gain access to the system and do all the activities, crack the passwords and everything. Then once the attacker gain the access, he has to maintain the access for some time, right? And so for that, the attacker has to create the backdoors in the system to manipulate the data, or to own the system, or to use the system as a bot in the future attack. So the fourth phase is maintaining the access. Then the fifth phase is covering the tracks. Covering the tracks means whenever you are doing any wrong activity, you always feel like somebody should not catch us. Now, if you feel somebody should not catch you, you will always try to cover whatever you are doing. So that is called as covering the track. So attacker will try to hide the malicious activity and will try to continue the access. Rahul sir, I think somebody is doing mischief and continuously posting this white screen, red screen. I'm not getting what is happening.
No, actually, just we are having rights. The host, you and me. Only three are having rights to
But
share the screen.
I'm getting that Shruti is posting some dots, she's writing something, posting some red circles.
Okay, okay.
I am able to
I'll,
see that name, Shruti somebody.
wait.
Sir,
I'll,
please check. It's disturbing.
yes, yes, sure. I'll remove her.
Yeah. So this is all about covering the tracks where the attacker is trying to hide the malicious activities done by him, right? Now, students, this is very interesting. Here, I'll just try to take you through the different types of cyber attacks. You must be knowing about few of them, and so here we will just discuss that what exactly happens in the different types of attack. So let us go through them one by one. So what is phishing? So phishing means what? When you go for phishing, what exactly you do? You just take the fishing rod and you attach some food for the fish uh, at the end of the thread, and you put the thread in the water and wait till the fishes come to eat that food, and then you take them out, right? So what you are doing is it's like a honey pot. You're giving something to them and then you're catching them. So phishing is like that only. Here, what the fraudster or the attackers do is they try to build a fake website. The website which is similar to the existing website. For example, let us take the bank website. If some attacker tries to attempt phishing, he or she will create the similar website of the bank website and build a fake website which look exactly similar to the original website. Then he or she sends thousands of email link to the fake website to all the customers. Few of them try clicking on the fake website. The website looks similar, and then they go on entering their username and password. But at the other end, we have the attacker who is sitting, who can get access to your username and password, and then your passwords are compromised, and then you're victim of phishing attack, right? So like this, the is trying to send these phishing emails to thousands of users, and then few of them may end up entering the actual username and passwords. Then this is just a simple case study here for phishing. It's a little old where a woman from Mumbai, she lost 1.2 lakh rupees in an email scam, and all of the emails were phished emails she got, and then she was a victim of that. Then again, Income Tax India Department website, on that a phishing website was created, and the disclaimer was given that you are you are requested to give your PAN card information, your this credit card, sorry, this your Aadhaar card information, and by using that, people are attempting the scams. Okay, so that is phishing websites how people are using to attempt the attacks. Then same thing happened with the UTI phishing scam, where UTI Bank is converted to Axis Bank. People were getting the messages that emails. Now we are migrating from one server to another, and you have to give your user IDs and password, and people ended up giving their data. Okay, similar to phishing, here we have farming. Now, what is farming? It's a type of fraud that involves diverting the client. Now, it's like phishing only, but in phishing we are creating a fake website. Now, in farm and asking the user to click on the website, then only the user is diverted to fish or fake website. But what is happening in farming is the DNS is changed actually. The domain name server itself, the modifications are done. And even if you enter the legitimate URL, you are diverted to the fake website. Okay. So whatever you enter, even if you enter the correct URL, you will end up on the forged site. Then farming. What is farming is, in case of farming, the attacker uses the like the same thing, like you are diverted to the fake website. Now next is smishing. Smishing is a variation of phishing where it is done by using SMS. SMS for phishing is called as smishing, where you're getting fake email, fake messages through your SMS, and the links are given in the SMS. Then we have phishing. Phishing is voice phishing. Okay, voice phishing means what? You're getting phone calls from the bank that you have account in a particular bank, and we need your PAN card number, we need the OTP or something like that. So they're trying to attempt a crime by using through the phone call. So that is called as phishing, voice phishing. Then, student, you must have heard about ransomware. It is the interesting one. What happens in a ransomware attack? In a ransomware attack, the attacker will try to encrypt the files on your computer system or on your server. The data is on your server only, but now it is encrypted. Encrypted means you're no longer able to use your data because it is locked. And to give the key for decrypting the data, the attacker is asking you for the ransom. You have to pay the money, then only you will get the key to open or to decrypt the files which are there on your system. So how exactly these ransomware attacks work? So attacker will try to send the infected file, which is having the Trojan horse or the malicious software. And then when you click on it, the malicious program is installed on your system and it will encrypt all the files on your system. Right? And then you will just get a message on the screen that you have to pay the ransom to a particular account in a given time. They also give you the deadline, and then the time is continuously reducing and you're in a pressure to pay them the ransom or the money to get access to your data. Okay. The ransomware attacks are not very new. They are very old. Like in the year 1989, in the year 1989, AIDS Trojan was the first ransomware attack. And it was attempted by using floppy disks. That time floppy disks were there. And a company employee has written some code to encrypt the files on a system in a floppy and then circulated that floppy to all the rivalry industries, and then all their data was locked. So this is how it was evolved from the year 1989. Now, this is a very famous ransomware attack, WannaCry ransomware attack attempted in 2017 on the several organization, and they ended up locking their data. Then on Ukraine power plant also, WannaCry ransomware was attempted, and it was done in the year 2017. Okay, so it's all about ransomwares. Now, next is identity theft and the credit card frauds. I must have heard about it. Identity theft means somebody will try to use your identity and do some activity, malicious activities. And credit card frauds are the one where credit card information is compromised and the credit card information is sold online. So here I would like to say you that the credit card informations which are compromised by the attacker try to sell your information in on dark net for the cheaper price, and then people can misuse that data and can withdraw the money from your account. Okay. Then these are some biggest data breaches happened in the world, like, and the people were able to like the data of the organization was compromised with a huge number. A lot to go. Okay, this one I'll tell you. Like in State Bank of India also, 6 lakh debit card record was compromised, and the debit card records of the State Bank users was compromised, and then the bank has asked all the debit card users to change their passwords immediately. Then same thing happened with the Uber also, that the personal information of 57 million Uber users and drivers, it was compromised or exposed. And then Uber were asked to pay the ransom for that, and then only the attacker said that we will delete the information. But the way Uber handled this data breach was very wrong. They paid the money, and they did not have any guarantee or any assurance that that attacker has already deleted the data or not. So unless and until you have any assurance that the data is deleted, paying the ransom is of no use. Then hacking, what is hacking? It's basically it's the art of exploitation. So exploitation something is hacking. So I'll take you through the famous case study of Ahmedabad bomb blasting. Serial bomb blast happened in Ahmedabad in the year 2012. So, sorry, this is BSNL case study. That bomb blast case study I don't have. So what happened in that is serial bomb blast happened in Ahmedabad, and when it was tracked, actually it was tracked to Kenneth Haywood's place in Mumbai. And when the police visited that place, the they saw that the insecure Wi-Fi connection of the person was used by the attacker. The person was not at home. His house was locked, but the Wi-Fi which is there in his house was insecure. There was no password set for it. And then these all bomb blast mails were sent by using that Wi-Fi. Okay, so security of Wi-Fi's are also very important because people can use it for the hacking purpose also, right? Then the next one is cyber stalking. Now, in cyber stalking, where people can use internet, stalk somebody, and harass the individual. Okay, so cyber stalking may includes false accusation, monitoring, identity threats, or gathering the information about somebody is all about cyber stalking. So stalking somebody online is cyber stalking. Then people can use that data and then and compromise the data and then use it for the malicious activities. So this was a case study where this is a Pune's case study only where a woman who was entering in a particular company, whenever we enter some organization, we have to enter our name and a mobile number in a register, right? We all do that. Sir, somebody named Vaishnavi is doing it again.
Okay, just wait. Vaishnavi.
So whenever you enter some particular organization, you have to enter your names, email IDs, and your phone number. Okay. So a person, a security guard who was there on the gate, he took the mobile number from the register and he started stalking that woman, and then he started harassing her. And then when she made a complaint, then the case was solved in 48 hours. So this was the stalking case study, and cyber stalking also happened in a similar way. Then you must have heard about cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is it's very serious offense actually. So
Ma'am,
yes,
Rachana ma'am.
yes.
Yeah, ma'am, sorry to disturb you, ma'am. When you are sharing the screen, no, at the right hand side of your screen, there are three dots or something like more.
Okay.
If you click on that, you can disable the ad donation, ma'am. Disable annotation for participants, something like that.
I am not able to see that, ma'am. Can you do it from your end, please?
Okay, ma'am. You will have to stop the screen sharing for a
Sure,
moment
I'll do
and
it.
just do it. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Ma'am is done. Check.
Yes,
Check.
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so what is happening in cyberbullying? If you could look at this statistic, like 53% of Indian children between the age of 8 and 17 years have been bullied online. These teenager kids are bullied online by using the social media platforms which we are using these days. The small kids are also there on the social media platforms, and their own friends are teasing them online and bullying them. So it's a very serious offense, and such acts can make the victim depressed, isolated, and then it even leads to suicidal tendencies. So I have one case study where a small boy of 13-year-old Ryan, he took his own life when his friends were bullying him online, calling him gay, taunting him. Okay, so these all are the very serious offense, and kids are not aware about it, and they are using social media website as a fun, but it comes under cyberbullying. things. Okay, so who all are these computer criminals? We have seen these different cyber crimes. So who all are the criminals? So some are high school or university students like you all, and then they are just trying to identify something. They are very much curious, and they try to do something. They are unaware that this is actually an offense. We should not do this. This is a cyber attack, and so they also come under the category of cyber criminal. Then others are the middle-aged business executives. We have some mentally deranged people. To harm somebody is the only aim of such people. So they are also cyber criminal. Others are the ordinary people who are tempted by a personal profit, revenge, challenges, or job security. So they all are the cyber criminal. So basically they are divided into 4 types. We have amateurs, where teenage hackers, they will just try to see that the ma'am's computer do not have password. Let me enter, let me go through it, and let me find if I can get something. Okay, so they are just a curious entities, and they are just trying to do something new. Okay. So that they are amateurs. Then we have crackers or malicious hackers. And then we have career criminals. Some of them are terrorists. They are state-sponsored hackers. And then they also falls under the computer criminal. So this is just a elaboration of them. Okay, so coming to the end of the session here. Now, whenever you have cyber security, we have a cyber crime. Whenever there is a cyber crime, we have forensic investigation. Okay, so always we are trying to save ourselves. Always we are trying to stop the cyber crimes. But still, if the cyber crime happens, then what happens? Then we go to digital forensic. That is forensic investigation start. Just like your normal crimes, there is just like your normal crime, there is a cyber crime. So just like your normal forensic investigation, we have a digital forensic investigation. Okay. So Forensic Science Standards Board is a scientific organization which is actually looking after the different branches of forensic, and digital forensic is one of the branch. In digital forensic also, again, we have computer forensic, we have mobile forensic, database forensic, network forensic, right? The device which you are using, based on that device, there is a branch of forensic, right? So as I have just said you that digital forensic is a branch of science which consists of recovery and investigation of cyber crimes. So all these forensic investigation takes place after an incident which has happened. So why we need digital forensic? Because we saw this graph in the first slide. In the first slide only, I show you this graph that the number of cybercrime cases registered are much more than the cyber arrest made. Why? Because we don't have a strong digital forensic techniques which can collect a forensically sound digital evidences which we can prove in the court of law, and then the criminals would be arrested. So digital evidences, I have just said, it's like any probative information which is can be stored or it can be transmitted digitally as a part of a judicial dispute in the court, and it can be used during the court trials in the court of law. They are called as digital evidences. So these are just the formats of digital evidences. I'll not go through it. So what are the requirements? You must be curious that I'm saying that we are not able to capture the evidences, So whenever we are capturing any digital evidences, whenever if we are capturing any digital evidences, they must satisfy these 5 criteria: that the evidences must be admissible in the court of law, they must be authentic, the evidences must be complete, they must be reliable and believable. Okay, so if your captured evidence satisfy all these criteria, then only you are able to prove the evidence in the court of law, and then only they are forensically strong digital evidences which are acceptable in the court of law. So this is just the process model at how digital investigation is done. Like first we need forensic readiness, then we have to detect what has happened, then we have to collect the evidences, we have to preserve the evidences, then we have to examine the evidences, analyze them, investigate them, and present them in a court of law. Okay. So how we can tackle with such activities? Awareness is the first step in protecting yourself or your family and your business. We have to we have to invest in antivirus, firewalls, spam blocking software for your PCs. We have to detect secure website, make sure that the websites which you are using are secure, then reuse them. Do not respond or act to the fake emails which you are getting. Stay safe and stay secure. So thank you everybody. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
If you are having any queries, please post your queries in the chat box. Ma'am will answer that.
Fine, sir. I think they don't have any queries.
Yes,
They must have understood it very properly.
yes,
Fine?
yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much, Rahul sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, all of you. Ma'am, it was a really nice session, and after continuous interruption as well, you have delivered us very good knowledge. We were now aware about the what were the possible types of attacks are there in the internet world, and definitely we'll take care like to avoid multiple threats, and we have also got a few strategies to mitigate the risk while going through the any cyber activities. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have
Apart
a
from
nice
that, I
day.
would like to also thank Dr. Manimala Puri, ma'am, Vice Chancellor in charge, Pimpri-Chinchwad University, Dr. Sudeep Thepade, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Pimpri-Chinchwad University, Dr. Vijay Patil, sir, Head, Computer Science and Engineering Department, then Sharon Gaikwad, ma'am, and her all team members for coordinating this webinar, as well as last but not least, all the participants who actively participated in this webinar. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am.